It is negative 20 degrees outside. You climb into your diesel truck expecting a warm and cozy cabin, but instead you find that the heater is blowing ice-cold air, and the engine temperature gauge refuses to move even after idling for 20 minutes. This miserable experience is the classic sign of code P050, which indicates a performance problem with your fuel-fired heater system. You see, modern diesel engines are so efficient and have so much metal mass that they sometimes cannot generate enough heat to warm up the coolant when it is extremely cold outside, especially if the truck is just sitting there at an idle. To solve this, manufacturers like Mercedes, Land Rover, and Volvo install a small auxiliary burner that actually uses a tiny bit of diesel fuel to act like a furnace for your engine coolant. This system has its own fuel injector, an igniter, and its own temperature sensors to make sure the coolant gets hot enough to defrost your windshield and keep you warm. When the powertrain control module does not see a big enough temperature difference between the coolant going into the heater and the coolant coming out, it realizes the burner is not doing its job and stores this code. The severity here is mostly about your comfort, but in deep winter, a working heater is a safety necessity for keeping your windows clear of ice. To diagnose this, you should first check for any technical service bulletins because these auxiliary heaters are notorious for having specific cold weather glitches. Next, you need to use a diagnostic scanner to manually command the heater to turn on. If you do not hear the tiny fuel pump clicking or see the igniter working, you might have a blown fuse or a clogged fuel injector for the heater unit itself. Grab your digital multimeter and test the temperature sensors to see if they are within the manufacturer's resistance specifications. If the sensors are lying to the computer, the heater will never turn on. It is also common for the wiring harnesses under the vehicle to get damaged by road salt and ice, so check for any corroded connectors or broken wires. If you find a failed sensor or a clogged burner, replacing those small parts is a lot cheaper than a whole new heater assembly. Getting this system fixed means you can finally stop shivering in your seat and enjoy a fast warm-up no matter how far the temperature drops tonight.